Well, so exciting was the opening stage of the Volta A Catalunya, we thought we'd go sprinting again. Today, 176 kilometres ahead of the field, Figueres, our ultimate destination, and the young teenager Matt Brennan wearing the leader's jersey. So what lay ahead? Well, plenty of wind. Thankfully the sun came out, but that wind, was it going to blow away a few ambitions? Big climbs at the centre of the day, some lumpy stuff at the end, and even a rising finale with a last corner with 150 metres to go. How would it pan out? Well, certainly it was one that would draw some ambition from a breakaway, and no surprise to see the leader of the King of the Mountains competition up the road yet again. Van der Tuk was there along with Urate from Equipo Kern Farmer and indeed Kern Johnson. There were various incarnations on the climbs. Aparicio decided that he would go and join the break, but really it was ultimately doomed because of the amount of pressure that was being put on, notably by the sprinters teams, who were determined to have their fun before the high ground on stages 3, 4 and beyond. Well, Alpes in de Koning were certainly busy, so were plenty of others when it came to the intermediate sprint, and Ayuso getting up to take 3 potentially valuable seconds for later on in this race. We would see. 61 kilometres remaining then, and Alpecin were not even moderating their pace from this kind of distance. No break up front, but certainly plenty of wind about, and as a result all of the twists and turns had to be fought for, and in fact some gaps were being opened up. A big split occurred around about this marker, and plenty of fast men found themselves out of position and having to work very hard to get back in. Well, even 25-second margin when you're facing a headwind, as we were at this point, is really something you don't want to have to deal with. So some legs have been tired out even before we got to the sprint. Others decided maybe they could hit and hope. Quint Simmons, always that kind of rider. But in the end, all was neutralised. The likes of Geraint Thomas were putting those fires out. He working, of course, for Axel Rons ultimately at the end of the day. And ultimately, it came. The pace extraordinarily high, a reasonably straight road in the offing, save for that pickup and a bend towards the right at the very last. Alpes in de Koning looked like that they absolutely nailed this one with Caden Groves just tucked in there, the yellow helmet of our glorious leader Matthew Brennan just about to pull out into the centre of the road, but doing some fabulous work. Itmar Einhorn was leading out. Ethan Vernon, who timed his run to perfection in the centre of the road, could he hold on and throw it to the line? That was the big question. Groves on the barriers, Vernon centre of the road. In the end, Brennan also getting up for second place, but it was Ethan Vernon that made it home for Israel Premier Tech. Super work by him. Caden Groves just finding himself ultimately having gone too early, just faded ever so slightly to third behind Brennan, who of course maintains his lead overall. Congratulations to Ethan Vernon, still at the top of the day. The day kind of suited him. Well, it kind of did. Vernon taking it ahead of Brennan, Groves, Axel Rons, Pavel Bittner rounding out your top 5. Terrific day of racing with the mountains still to come. Some of these fast men may well struggle a bit. Overall classification finds Brennan still very much in the lead. 6 seconds to the goods of Caden Groves. Well, Brennan owning most of the jerseys, it seems, including the young riders classification. And this is what he's got to deal with tomorrow. Can the fast man drag himself over this? The Crueta climb, the first especial climb of this year's race to come.